Thank you, Ian. Can you hear me? Let me see. Cool. Welcome. Good afternoon, and what a beautiful day. I'm so delighted you can join me again today. And today in our studio, waiting backstage to give us an update on mortgages is John Cliff. And then we're delighted to have Michelle Bourgeois back from Pillar to Post. So we're going to cover some things in the real estate industry today as well. We're going to give you a tour of a brand new listing. And we're going to talk about some inexpensive ways that you can improve your space and add value to your home. So I'm going to give you a few tips. But first, I'm going to play a little video from Pillar to Post. So welcome and thank you for being here. So please welcome Michelle Bourgeois from Pillar to Post. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you very much for having me.
And please welcome John Cliff from the Mortgage Center. Hi, John.
Hi, how are you, Sally?
Fantastic. You're looking younger every day.
Well, I postponed my birthday this year.
Good, good.
So I won't be getting any older this year. I decided to postpone my birthday.
Oh, well, Michelle needs to click back in. We kind of lost him there for a second. So hold on a second. Let's see if we can find Michelle. As I say, this is all learning. So he might have accidentally leave the studio. Let's see. Oh, he's back. He figured it out. But he's sideways. How do we fix that? Hey, Michelle, you're sideways if you can hear us.
Is he lying down?
All right.
There he is.
Oh, there you are. Hi, Michelle. Nice
Hello.
for you to be here. And you're straight up. I like it. I like it. You're looking great. So I'm so delighted you guys could join us today to give us an update. It's been several weeks. I think you were both here from the very beginning, and I'm losing track of the weeks. It's been well over 4 weeks, I think. I didn't look back, but it's been a long time. So, Michelle, tell us what you've been doing since you were last here talking about pre-inspections and whether they're a good thing or not. Come on, you've been busy?
Well, we haven't been as busy. Of course, we're down about, I'd say 65% for sure. We're still doing inspections. However, because of the coronavirus, there's a lot of new procedures that are taking place. First of all, the procedures that the realtors are required to do. And then we're finding a lot of the clients are not attending the inspection because it's concerning for them as well as the homeowner, less activity inside the house. And we have a procedure, and we do have it on our website, the procedure we follow, where we're wearing the mask, the gloves, and we wipe down every aspect of what we touch. We do a lot of washing our hands because we do have to turn taps on. We do have to flush toilets. We do have to open up the furnace. So there's things we are taking extra precautions. However, we're still doing our job. We're taking lots of additional pictures. And what's happening now is we're doing the reports later at the office and sending them to the clients and reviewing the full report with them so they get a full understanding. And we, of course, will have some additional photos to help them out a little bit. Now, there are people that would like to attend. So what in the past, what we're doing is letting them come the last 15 minutes, and we'll just go through the highlighted items. So there again, less activity in the house, and we do supply gloves and masks if they need them. The hardest part we've been finding is getting hand sanitizer. I finally bought a batch from Red Deer. So we got about 15 little canisters. So it's alcohol, but we do have it. And of course, we're asking the clients, no grandparents, no children, just the people that are required to come, the father, the wife, if they both want to come. But that's what's happening. The phones I found, believe it or not, I found the phones ring a little more this week. It seems like people are getting the green. I've always said in this business, we've been at it for 25 years, the green is like money. When the grass starts turning green, the real estate action starts happening. And of course, we all know the relocation companies are getting transferred now. So we're doing a lot of reload out and a lot of starting to get reloads coming into place right now.
That's great. That's great to hear. And, spring was delayed, but boy, it's upon us like so. So in the last few weeks, you're finding yourself keeping busy. So are you finding with respect to the inspections, are they mainly occupied homes, unoccupied, 50-50?
That's a good point. We're finding probably, I'd say, I'd have to say there's probably a good 30 to, if not 40% vacant. Okay. And what we're going to probably, the hardest part is in some cases is trying to get the homeowners that are there to leave. No one wants to leave. So it's a complicated scenario right now that people, they feel unsafe. So we have to make them safe. And we give them our policy. We send them an email exactly what our procedures are. And so far we have not been, we've always been able to do the inspection. So no one's really chased us away as of yet.
Okay. But the least amount of people in the space, the better. Is that the focus?
Oh, for sure. Because, one client, and the realtors have been fantastic. They open the door, they sit in their car. They may show up at the end when we do the 15-minute review, but that's about all. Really, we're the only person in the house doing the inspection. We know what we touch. We know what we're going to clean. And we got wipes, but we are running out of them. So if anybody knows where to buy wipes, let us know, because it's getting harder and harder. We do carry paper towel and the spray Lysol. So we do have that, but the wipes are the better way to go.
What types of wipes are you using?
Well, we have both. We have, Lysol, and we have the chloride.
Okay. So you're running out of the Lysol ones?
You can't even find wipes. We've been everywhere. We've been looking for wipes in every store. I got people that work at the stores letting me know. So the Lysol is what everyone seems to like the most. Okay. And there's usually 500 little wipes in there, but they don't last long when you're using 5 or 10. So the spray bottle with the paper towel, we're doing a lot of that too. And of course, we're not opening every door because the doors are on. The light switches, we can do them all. We turn them all on once and we'll shut them all off once. So that's an easy wipe down. It's more the that people are concerned about, in the fridge and whatever stays, the dishwasher to turn on. But we do have gloves as well, and we throw the gloves away every job. So
Oh
I just
yeah,
got
you have to. Yeah.
yesterday, 200 more pairs of gloves and another 20 masks yesterday from Amazon, which I ordered 6 weeks ago.
Mhm. So, for example, 4 weeks ago, when there was almost no activity, so are you finding that every day now you're booked?
No, no, no. We were, matter of fact, it's been kind of dead until this week. This is my first week. I got 7, maybe even 8 jobs on the board for this week. Prior to this, we were lucky to do two jobs to 3 jobs a week. This is the first week, like even this Saturday and Sunday, the jobs, when it's busy, we get 3 to 13. This week, I think I had 4 or 5 people called and we booked 4 of them.
Cool.
And of course, a lot of people are price shopping. So we're finding that scenario. People are broke and they don't know if they got a job or whatever. But yeah, so we're tackling it, but we're handling it. And I think once they review our website and understand the procedures and policies, because there's always people love to be on site. They want to see everything about the home, but it just can't happen. And I've had that. Some people that are very picky have accepted the policies and procedures, and they're the ones that come at the end for 15 minutes, and we're okay with that.
So are you finding that people are trying to negotiate your fees?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Really, I probably lost 3 jobs in the last week, and it's sad because, my inspectors, as you're aware, have been around with me for 10 years and one for 16 years. So these guys are long experienced home inspectors, and
Right.
we're competing against people that are just starting up or do it part-time, because we're running into our industry right now is a lot of the home inspectors are home builders or renovators and do this on the side. So they're part-timers.
Oh, wow.
We find pensioners and part-timers galore. Like when I started 25 years ago, there were 16 people doing inspections. Now there's over 225 home inspectors. And believe me, yes, price competitive is very tough right now. It's like, I have no problem giving, if it's you go in and they want the same price for a 4,000 square foot home that I'm doing for a 1,200 square foot home. And we can't do that. And they want me to throw in the mold.
I know from experience you can't do an adequate job on a 4,000 square foot house if you don't have adequate time.
No, you need the exactly right. And we've thrown in the infrared camera for free, and it helps us and it helps them. But it's just one of those things that we're finding that, like today, I had a guy who wants me to do an inspection, throw in a mold test. Well, I said, first of all, let's even see if there's mold before you even panic. And,
True.
Sometimes mold was an old stain from someone in a room that inside a closet where people stored clothes. And he wanted me to throw it in. I said, well, there's 2 types of mold tests. One is a swab test. It's still $175. I got to send it to the lab. And then in their air quality, because he was complaining that they felt stuffy when they were looking at the house, is $500. Well, I'm not throwing nothing in. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's a cost of providing a service. So just one last question. So you find a difference from the basic inspection? What are we talking in terms of money? $50, $100?
Well, I kind of dropped $25 and I seem to recoup a little bit of the work, but I'm not getting it all. So okay. $25 is getting me some work. I think, see, the problem is we never know what they're getting. I've had people say they can get an inspection for $300. I started 25 years ago at $325. So it's pretty hard for me to survive. These guys got to make money too, and they want a 3 o'clock inspection. So first of all, they're disrupting all the people's supper time, and I have no problem. We're not charging you extra, but give us at least what our basic rate is. Like even the relocation companies are paying us base rate at $525 in many cases.
When the average price of a house, if you're spending $300,000 or $400,000 or $500,000 or $1 million, I think the inspection numbers I see are anywhere from, well, let's say on a big house, average $700,000, $800,000. I think it's a small amount for a bit of peace of mind, right? Because they give you a point of reference with the house. And you've known me for many years. I often even recommend an inspection on brand new homes. Okay, even though they're all under warranty, there's still lots of things that I've seen over my time or in a brand new house. Insulation might be missing in an attic, which is bizarre. I know, because you got a permit.
We have found.
I found jacuzzi tubs that are filled to test and the water's leaking in the kitchen. So, I mean, these are odd occurrences, but dishwashers and things that are not hooked up. But anyway, for the homeowner, I think it's, it's just a little more peace of mind. So, I mean, I've always recommended a home inspection, even though you guys, to be honest with you, aren't the end all and the be all. It's a point of reference for homes. And I'm also highly recommending all the time a pre-inspection, because that way, at least you don't catch it all, but at least you know some of the major challenges that a potential buyer will have in looking at your home, for sure. So have you seen an increase in pre-inspections? Because, we're expecting the inventory at spring now. People will be putting their homes up for sale, getting them ready.
We're really identifying to a lot of the realtors. I've even passed out little pamphlets for the realtors to let them know that, the pre-listing, because I find the pre-listing helps everybody. It lets the homeowner know exactly the situation of the home. So no real surprises if the people come back or want to adjust, or gives him the opportunity to repair the problem. The realtor listing home fully understands what they're getting into. Okay, we know we got a 25 or 35-year-old furnace and an older hot water tank. So everybody's on the same page. And then when the buyers are coming, they get a full understanding. Here's what we know about the house already. Now, there's no real surprises unless at the time of the inspection, and this happens, where in the basement a bunch of stuff got relocated and all of a sudden we see a water stain. But that's why, it happens. But
well, the other thing too I've found is that understanding where the pitfalls and the shortfalls are with a particular home, it's easier to hit the objection and the challenges up front than after the fact. After the fact, I find it extraordinarily stressful for both the sellers and the buyers. So, but that's wonderful information. And then of course we have John on the other end. He usually, starts at the beginning, John, pre-approving folks, right? But then the system has changed a little. Then they have to go out and find a home and then send you the paperwork. In the meantime, we're running around with Michelle. So, but tell us what's going on in the mortgage world. And let's talk about, if you could touch on, should people, look at finding some money or equity in their home to do renovations, and whether you think major or minor, because I have my opinion on major renos in preparation for selling. Welcome, John.
Thank you. Hi, Michelle. How are you?
Good. I'm just looking, I'm laughing because I'm just getting an email while I'm talking to you, and it's a person waiting for their financing approval before they hire us to do an inspection.
See, that happened a lot in this industry.
Yes. Well, we do run into that, and if after the mortgage is already approved, if there's something that comes up in the inspection and that changes the price, you have to keep in mind that we need to run that new price by the lender. It's not an automatic, so keep that in mind as well, because we do run into that quite a bit.
So, on that question, John, so for example, if there are some things that need to be, say it's $5,000 worth, and the seller agrees to make an adjustment to the purchase price, and we do that and send you an amendment, is that a red flag? The lender wants to know what the heck was wrong?
Yeah, it depends. So it depends on how much of an adjustment that there is. If it's quite a big adjustment, we've had some lenders say, oh, well, let me see a copy of the inspection report. Let's see what's wrong with the place.
Okay, you saw my reaction, right? Yeah. Doing the upgrade. What? So are you telling me that they'd rather not know? And what do we do, John? Because I run into different scenarios. So if the seller's willing to give us $10,000 towards fixing it, we just do an amendment after the fact, and you don't need to know. I'm just kidding.
Everybody needs to know everything.
I know.
No, but that's why I really like the idea of the pre-inspection, because then maybe the price gets negotiated up front rather than after the mortgage has been approved, and you're running into problems at the very finish line because the mortgage needs to be reapproved to the lower amount, for example.
True. And then of course the lender wants to see the report. That may cause some other issues. So it's one of the main reasons that I like the pre-inspection. Then I can actually also communicate, listen, this doesn't work and that doesn't work and this doesn't work. And so suck it up, buttercup. The price is reflecting it. So go show it. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not.
I know it'd be great for us to see those ahead of time. If the right power, or if there's any kind of issues, it's always best that we know about that ahead of time, so there's no surprises at the very end.
John, I find when we're out there, sometimes the appraiser, definitely if he's at the same time, he hits us up constantly. What did I find? How old is this? And what do you see? But I've never ever had any. Well, I've never obviously seen the bankers at the inspection because they don't need to be. But you're right. It'd be nice if you had a copy of the report so you understood. And the nice thing about our reports, we have a summary who highlights all the bigger items. You don't need to know about the little leak that needs a repair for $50. What you want to know is $25,000 roof covering that needs to be replaced.
Yeah, and we have different lenders that have different guidelines. So, if we're armed with the inspection report ahead of time, we can potentially steer the customer towards the correct lender as well. So that will save time as well, right? So we can run it by our underwriters at the various lenders and say, who's comfortable looking at this deal, and they do have different guidelines. So some, they won't look at it. So it's good to know that ahead of time, so we don't bother sending it there and wasting everybody's time.
Exactly. Well, that seems to be one of the biggest things we find. We don't get lost, but we definitely know it's out there, is people are booking us and waiting to see if they get approved. So everything, like we've juggled the jobs around, I'd have to say 10 jobs at least, if not 20, sometimes in a month, where they book it for Tuesday and, we didn't get financing. And they keep on juggling the time for 2 or 3 or 4 days, and they cancel. So we do get we see a lot of that, and you're right. They are listing. A lot of this would be resolved before all this.
Absolutely, and that's the issue. They wait to get their financing approved, then they do the inspection. But now you potentially have to redo the financing.
Yeah, we see that a lot. They wait to do the inspection like the day before, then there's a whole bunch of challenges, so. And the other thing that I find is a lot of realtors, and when they're negotiating an adjustment for, I don't know, a furnace, air conditioning, whatever, they don't understand how to prepare that amendment, because as you say, at that point, it has to be shared with the lender, because either the price is coming down, right? Or, I've seen it written as a credit to the buyer on closing, and specifically for what it is, right? So that can trigger some other things too. So
yeah, absolutely.
It is yeah.
The lawyer's gonna notice the price change anyway. So let's deal with it before it gets to the lawyer's office.
Sorry, repeat that. Oh, the lawyer's office. They don't want any problems. They want it all fixed before we get there.
Yeah, well, they'll notice that the price on the mortgage approval is different than the final price anyway. So the lender's gonna find out anyway. So let's deal with it up front and make sure there's no nasty surprises at the end.
And Michelle, I think a few weeks ago you told us that, the pre-inspection report, you can communicate it to the buyer if they wish. That's just an additional $300 to them. But I think it does provide a lot of benefit to sellers right now. And of course, like I said, I recommend them on new homes too, but you're not going to convince builders to do that up front. But if you've got an offer with a new home, I'm recommending it.
Really, Avi Homes did at one point want me to go through that with them. And this about 5 years ago. So I went, and they had all their supervisors and everybody there. We went through a full inspection. So they said it was going to be a selling point for their new homes, that they already had a third-party inspection. It was kind of a slap in the face, because what they ended up doing, it was just taking all my report, my advice, and they did it themselves prior. So, but it was a good thought in my mind for any home, new or old. And believe it or not, we found quite a few things with that home that they could address. It's just a different eye with, like I see things 5 years later that they think was perfect that we run into problems, and they're not aware of that knowledge. So I find it helpful. I don't know why it's just not a standard practice to have all homes pre-inspected first, and that way they get a full understanding. Here's what I'm buying. It's like when you go buy a used car, they kind of have a detailed warranty. Here's what we've done with this car. You know, at a car dealership, they have a little package. We've changed the tires. You got this, 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 this. But no, the other way we're doing it now is a little bit backwards, where it's a guessing game. I go get the money. I get an inspection. Oh, geez, we found a problem. Now I have to go back.
Yep.
Well, the
So,
whole thing. Well, it's at the end this time of year too, in spring. In our jurisdiction, you know that we no longer use property disclosure statements, correct? But in many other provinces, they still use them, and a lot of our clients in the U.S. and stuff are used to, you know, I know I'll reference BC. They use property disclosure statements that are filled out by the sellers, and you know, to the best of their knowledge, it always was. And I think in the end here, from a legal point of view, they felt that it didn't really hold any water, so we've dismissed those, right?
Right.
But
Yeah.
you know, it's highly recommended that if a seller's aware of an issue, say like an ongoing water issue in your basement every spring, you may as well hit it up front and talk about it. I mean, I'm going to recommend that because guess what? The minute somebody buys a house and they're not aware, the neighbor next door trundles along typically and tells you. So, right? So, but anyway, you know, I've always said when you're confused, err on the side of caution, ask questions, and, you know, I don't know, disclose, because it's easier, I've found, after 39 years to deal with the challenge right now than once we're down the road and there's a sale happening and John's involved and Michelle's involved and a lawyer's involved, and here we go. Yeah. But so John, back to you now. What are we seeing in the mortgage world? What about these interest rates? They're all over the map.
yeah, well, you know what? They seem to be settling down a little bit, and they're actually kind of drifting a little bit down. So we're still seeing, you know, rates are at historical lows. And you were asking about tapping into the equity of your home potentially to do some renovations if you're looking at selling or improving or whatnot. And so yeah, there's some neat new products out. So traditionally you would do what's called a refinance, where you're actually adding to the mortgage amount, and you're really capped, because those are not insurable mortgages. You're capped at only borrowing 80% of the value of the home. So in a lot of cases, you know, if you've previously purchased the place at say 5 or 10 or 15% down, you may not have enough equity to refinance. So what we've found is some of the lenders have gotten pretty creative, and they're now doing cashback mortgages on switches and transfers. So traditionally those were more or less reserved for new purchases, but this is a great way to actually get some extra money when you're switching your lender without actually refinancing. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. You're going to still get those the best rates, insurable rates, if your mortgage is currently insured, but you also get the benefit of getting some extra money out as well.
Well, today I'm going to talk to you about, you know, minor things you can in fact do, right? Without spending a lot of money to improve the value of your home.
Sure.
You know, I'm getting calls from clients wondering if, you know, they should convert the bathroom from a single sink to a double sink. Well, that's one of the most expensive things you can do. And a lot of those kinds of major renovations just before you sell, I don't believe that, yeah, and you don't get it back. It enhances the sale. So, and you never know, you might find a buyer who just doesn't want a double sink, 2 sinks to clean. So,
well,
but,
yeah, I can show you a quick example if you like.
Oh, please do.
Okay. I will attempt to share the screen.
Please, yeah, it's all good.
Okay, can you see that?
Nope.
Yes, perfect, John.
Nice. Okay. So this is an example of this new peace of mind mortgage calculator. So you'll see up on this line, I don't know if you can follow my little arrow there. This would be typical rate without any cash back. And then with the cash back here, we've got 1, 1.5%, 2, and 3%. So this is the cash back you'd be getting out for roughly a $400,000 mortgage. And you see you're paying a slightly higher rate for that cash back. But what's
identifying the rate chart?
Sure.
Depends on how big my screen is here. So the rate would be, for example, without there we go.
Without any cash back, this is an example 2.69.
Okay.
With 1% cash back, 2.89.
Okay.
2.99 with 1.5%, 309 with 2%, 329. So you're paying a higher rate. But what's interesting here is to get this roughly $12,000 cash back, it's only your payment only increases by $121 a month. So after the end of 5 years, you've made extra payments of $7,300 to get almost $12,000 of cash back. So you've got an extra $4,500 of cash flow. What some people would use this $12,000 for is, let's say, to pay off a $12,000 credit card where they're currently paying $2,400 a year just in interest. So over the next 5 years, they're gonna probably pay, you know, $10,000 or $12,000 of interest when they could get rid of that right away for only $121 extra a month.
Or alternatively, instead of using your credit card to do some renos, right? You can
yes, this would be a way cheaper. This would be a way cheaper way to do it. Right. And the other nice thing, as we said, was you're getting the benefit of, you know, sort of refinancing, but you're not tapped to the 80% loan to value. So it's a very creative product, and we're seeing a lot of interest in it.
Okay. So I want to ask you about interest rates, because in the Sun the other day, of course, everything to do with real estate, money, financing, right? I mean, always looking, and I still look at the Sun, and I do like the hard copy of the Sun, even though it's, I don't know, it's like minuscule. Oh, hello. I think we're going to play a video of you shortly. I've lost you. Anyway, if you can see me or hear me.
I can see you.
Okay, so it's really about the rates that were posted in the paper. And interesting that the major bank rates were posting, you know, I mean, everybody's posted rates are huge, 5 something or whatever. And then there's the Sun posting, you know, we'll call it a trust company rate of 2 something. So, you know, it's kind of unfair information when it's printed like that in the newspaper. Okay.
Yes. So there's a big difference between, you know, your posted rate and your negotiated rate. And what some of our lenders do is they don't have artificially high posted rates. And that actually is a benefit if you're paying a penalty. So the banks use the posted rate to calculate your penalty.
Okay, I know, I agree with that, but you know, when people are rate shopping, you know, I mean, I'm an equal opportunity person, you know that, right? So I felt that advertisement was unfair to the banks. So I think the banks need to pay attention, because it was saying a 5-year fixed term was 5.04%, which, you know, that's qualifying rate. And then you go down the list. Yeah, you know, I kept it actually. I meant to bring it here to show you, but I'll send it to you. And then it says there was another company, right? And it says 2.29. Why wouldn't you be calling them, right? But anyway, it's really, rates are quite flexible right now. And I will reiterate that people have to qualify at the 5.04%. That's the government imposed qualifying rate. And where are we seeing 5-year fixed rates at right now?
For that example, we talked about if you're doing an insured purchase, so if you're less than 20% down, or even if you're up for renewal and you were originally insured and you want to just switch, we still have $239 for a 5-year fix if you close within 45 days.
Perfect.
So that's kind of we always have 1 or 2 lenders that have promos on. So it's always a good idea to give us a call, regardless of what you see in the paper, because a lot of them will have unpublished promos. So they're not allowed to publish them and post them. So, and we typically see, out of all the lenders we have, maybe 1 or 2 a week will come up with some promotion. And so it really pays to do that quick phone call, and we can analyze your situation over the phone. And then if you are really out, you're going to go house shopping, what we'll do is we'll get all the documents from you, and we'll kind of pretend we're the lender analyzing all those documents. So you'll have a very, very good idea of what you'll eventually get approved for. And that's going to really help you when you go out shopping. So the sellers are going to know you're a motivated buyer. They're going to know you've gone through a proper pre-qualification process. We've actually looked at all your documents, your job letters, your pay stubs. We've checked your credit. And so you can be very, very confident that you're going to have that benefit of being pre-qualified correctly.
That's awesome. And I want to remind people that all mortgages are not created equal. I mean, in today's marketplace, there are so many options with them, with pay down features. And the big one for a lot of people, and they need to ask it in English, is if I have to pay this out, what is it going to cost me? So is it 3 months interest, or is it interest differential? So understanding those things are very, very critical, because a client could, after 2 years, be moved or transferred, or there's a whole host of things that can then happen. And then I've seen egregious payout penalties. Okay, so
yes. So yeah, that's part of our process. And when we're doing the initial interview, is we want to understand what your future plans are. If you're going to be staying for sure in that house for 5 years, then you can look at potentially, slightly lower rates, but with more restrictions, for example, or a slightly higher penalty, but you're getting a lower rate to compensate you for that. But if you're going to be moving in 3 years, that's super important for us to know that, because then we can try to design a solution for you that's going to either allow you to port that mortgage or reduce that penalty as much as possible. So yeah, that's part of the process we'll go through.
From my experience, the majority of people plan for 5 years. And I think with them, sorry.
I have to go. I'm going.
Yes, you have another meeting. Michelle, thank you so much for joining us today. And we all know how integral what you do. It's an integral part of this home buying and selling process. And I'm going to tell you something. Even if you're not thinking about selling your home, they gave Michelle's reports give you helpful hints on what to do a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. And I've always recommended that people at spring now to do minor repairs and keep up your home, because it is the largest investment the majority of people ever make is your home ownership. Michelle, thank you so much for being here today, and we look forward to you joining us again to give us an update, and may you have the blockbuster spring.
Thank you. And just to let anyone know that today the government finally released the 75% application form for employees on the COVID-19. That's what we're going to have a conference call, because today up to now it was never, they talk about it, but nothing was in place. Today it's in place.
Is this for employees?
I have to worry about that.
Michelle, did you say for employees?
Pardon me?
Was this a program for employees that's in place, or employers?
Well, that's for employees and employers. It's the 75% subsidies as well. They have a lot of the applications that just recently came out, the $40,000 loan, of course. And now this 7% or 75%, really they call it 75%, but you have to pay taxes on it. But for me, it will help me, because my guys are all sitting at home. My reception sits at home. So everyone's being paid, but no one's assisting me. So it just came out here this morning. Mike sent it. So I am just having another conference call with our Canadian franchise to listen to their two. Everything is complicated, so I have to go listen.
Yeah,
But
I know
you.
that
Okay.
I spoke to our brokerage about that.
Take care.
Because essential services, you know, you have staff and you need help. Thank you, Michelle. So, John, you know, it's quite interesting. I think that it's getting easier for people out there now. There's lots of information about some of the government programs to help employers keep employees on side, as well as, you know, because there is so much misinformation and so much stress. There is still a lot of stress because this is going on week after week after week. People are anxious to get mobile. So from what you've read so far, when do you think things might kind of open up the door a little bit?
Well, I wish I knew. I see on the news, you know, various parts of the states and whatnot, or certain industries are opening up and being declared essential, like mining, for example, and exploration for minerals. That's been recently declared an essential service. So, you know, if we're lucky, it'll happen sooner rather than later. But I think we should all stay the course and try to stay safe and follow what the experts are telling us.
Yes.
And you know, put some faith in that they know. Although it's a very unique situation, and there are more questions than answers, really.
Mm-hmm. So I see we have a bunch of questions here. Let's see if you and I can actually. So are home inspectors accountable for a time frame of item failure in a house purchased? Jerry, thank you for that question. I'll send this question to Michelle, but I can assure you, they're not. It depends. I think I've seen if they've missed something, for example, on the electrical side, if they missed identifying aluminum wiring versus copper. But I think being accountable for something that fails, like a furnace, I'm not sure if that's what you're implying, but from my experience, the answer to your question would be no, they're not at the. So unless you have a more specific question, what do you think, John?
Well, I have seen some of the home inspection packages include various types of insurance as well. So that might be something to consider when you're buying a home inspection, is to see what sort of insurance offerings they can bundle in with that.
Yeah, that's true. That's a separate package altogether.
Yeah.
You can buy some warranty insurance, but a lot of people are really focused on the basics. Now, of course, there's all kinds of different things available to them, from radon testing to mold testing to, so you can spend like $2,000, you know, or more. Yeah, for home inspections. But then it's, like I said, it's a big investment, so it depends on, you know, the age of the house too, and what if it's a new home, builder warranties that cover things for the first year typically. But for most part, you know, 1, 2, and 10. Things really don't fail, and then they're covered, right? So
yeah.
But you know, today we're going to talk a little bit about things, and because you're the money guy, right? I'm no, the money guy, right? So there are a lot of things that people at home can actually do to, I believe, enhance their home without investing a lot of money. Okay, and well, the number one thing I always say is, less is more. Let's pack up all that stuff. Okay. All right. So remember, we're trying to impress. Think we're going on a date. Okay. Right. We're trying to impress the new guy that's coming in to have a look around, or the new girl. Right. So less is more. And so some simple things that people can do. A lot of people, well, I mean, there's lots of YouTube videos, so you can actually paint a wall. Okay. You know, and Home Depot and Lowe's are open, so painting may be something. But if you don't know how to paint, that, you know, may be something that you consider. But if you're painting a whole house, that could be thousands of dollars. Okay, so the number one thing is start at the front door. Make sure it doesn't creak. So I always say, let's get that can of WD-40 out of my trunk, okay? Make sure the key works in the door, and let's clean the front door, okay? And remove the debris and the garbage from the front. And if the door needs painting, that's when the weather's good, maybe get a can of paint. And you could go to the greenhouse if they still have stuff, buy a little plant to put outside, but make sure you water it. Then you enter the house, clear out the foyer. It's so simple. And there's lots of little things you can do. A friend sent me a whole host of pictures this morning I wanted to share, but by the time I got them to create a slideshow to show you before and after, we'll do that maybe for tomorrow or another day, or showing you just a basic kitchen, painting the back, painting the cupboards, changing the handles. Okay, that's a little extensive, but even a simple thing of changing a light switch, like a light fixture, John,
Yeah.
can change the space. But the first and foremost, I always tell people, let's clean it. Because my favorite thing is cleanliness is next to universalness, we'll call it. And lately people are saying, well, why do you always use the word godliness? But we all grew up here, and that's a word we heard. It means nothing. So cleanliness, right? Clean, clean, clean. Pack it up, right? Get rid of it, okay? Because you're gonna have to pack anyway. Wouldn't you agree, John?
I agree. Maybe I should pretend I want to sell my house and get you over here and clean it all up for me.
Well, if you were on, actually, I've done that before, and we can do that virtually. So are you on an iPad or the desktop?
Desktop, yeah.
Okay. Is it
But
movable?
yeah, no, that would be a good idea. You could do kind of a walkthrough and say, move this, change that.
So how heavy is that laptop? You want to walk from the foyer right this minute for 2 seconds? You're welcome.
It's about 400 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
I don't want you to see my foyer.
Okay. But you know what, John? I'm happy to do that because I've done that virtually before. Absolutely.
Well, when this is all said and done, Sally, we'll have you over and we'll have a nice bottle of champagne, and you can talk to me about my foyer.
Absolutely. But, in the meantime, it is spring. So even if you create space for yourself and you're not moving, I highly recommend that it's time that do that. It just feels better, right?
Yeah.
Get out the broom, sweep the deck. Like, come on, you can do these things. Money,
my daughter.
Everybody's focused on not spending money right now. And there's nothing that feels better, right, than doing some of these things ourselves. And I remember my grandmother pushing the broom, so whatever, right?
I agree. My daughter's been wonderful these last few days. She's just finished her university degree, and she's been power washing the deck and repainting the porch and getting a suntan. Yeah, it's been wonderful. Yeah, I was looking at the deck because over the winter it gets all yucky. Mm-hmm. And been looking at it and dreading having to deal with it. And I come upstairs and it's all done and it's all pressure washed and everything's set up. So we went out and had a nice drink in the sun and had a nice chit chat, and it was great.
You know what? Those are great life skills. Good for her, right? And good of you. Look at that. You get free labor, but then she's getting free food and board. Room and board, is that what they call it? Not a girl.
Room and board, and she needs new. We're just buying her new tires today, so that's. I think she got the better end of the deal.
Well, she is your daughter, but no, there's lots of things that people can do right now, and it doesn't take very long at all.
No.
Right? So I say, do it together collectively, but it's really quite easy. So if anybody out there, right, would like a little help in virtually figuring out how to stage a house yourself, because I know that sometimes people have budgeted money to stage the home, but now, of course, everybody's watching cash flow, and so we should be, right? We're mindful of, we don't know how long we're going to be at this, and so there's lots of small, quick, easy things people can do. For example, even in a living room, it's spring. You can buy, I don't think little toss pillows are inexpensive. Buy some new towels, a little blanket, clean. If you have a leather couch that's black, trust me, clean it. Okay. Yeah. So you start with there, but there's lots and lots of helpful things. YouTube is great for that, John. Anyway, I hope you can stay with us because I've just listed a beautiful, beautiful 2-bedroom. Okay. He's welcome to stay, but I'm about to tour a brand new listing, John.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you want to stay with us, but I appreciate you being here today. And people can reach you on your cell. I know you're very attentive. And if
Thank
they have
you.
any questions, at no obligation, they can phone you. But
Absolutely.
one question. In the last week, have you seen increased activity in your work?
Well, we've been busy. We've been reaching out to past customers to check in on them, and see if they need any help. So we've been busy from that. We are seeing quite a few new leads coming in from our realtor partners who are seeing some activity pick up where people want to start shopping around now and want to see what they can afford because as we talked about, the rates are still at historical lows. And so it's a buyer's market. So there's, no better time to buy than in a buyer's market, right?
This is true. Yes, this is true.
So we're starting to see some activity pick up and, it's very encouraging.
And that's great. Well, I look forward to you joining us again, John. You're always welcome here. We love to hear all the new things that are going on. It is a ever-changing situation.
Yeah.
Us living with COVID-19, we will get through this together.
Absolutely. And I did send you a little video clip. You were asking about a little video clip.
Oh yes, let's cue your video.
Right.
Let's play.
It's
thank you for being here.
It's in your email.
I
can try to play it.
John. We've queued it up already, and we're playing it. We're going to play it.
Bye.
Bye, John. Oh, where'd it go? Hang on. There it is. There it is. All right. I saw it. There it is. Thank you.
Okay, I'll talk to you later.
Will you be? Yeah, you can watch it if you want, and then say goodbye. It's up to you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, thanks, John.
Bye.
Is it in the Chrome tab instead? Oh, well, that's interesting. I thought it was about to. Why I have what? Oh, it's not sharing. Oh, all right. Well, we'll have to play it. I know that. So this isn't doing it. Well, we'll have to figure this video out another day. That's fine. And when we can, it's an app. Oh, he sent it in an app form. See, so there's lots of new things to learn about how to play a video. But anyway, so any questions you have about mortgages, right? Please contact John at the Mortgage Center. We've posted his website as well. So I'm going to give you a quick little tour of a brand new listing. We'll switch to that. Thank you for being here. And here we are. So this fantastic building is at the end of Jasper Avenue. And it's the building's name is Jasper Properties. Fantastic, gorgeous building that looms at the end with spectacular views of the North Saskatchewan River. And this is listed for $599. It includes one underground parking stall, and it's perched. You have the eastern view, you get the morning sun, and the views are just spectacular. So I'm going to take you through. We're on my website, which is easy to negotiate, and this of course is measured to the RMS standards. It's 1,780.37 square meters wall to wall. I just wanted to also show you that on the website we do have a downloadable. Hang on, let me just show you here. Where we go, our listings right here. There we go. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. And so when you're on my website at sallymunro.com and you click Sally's listings, it's in price order. So as you scroll down, you can just click onto this and you see we have, oh, right. So we have lots of still photographs. So you can see stunning shots of the exterior of this property. And you can gently scroll down. As you can see, this is the beautiful lobby, and it has a wonderful water feature as well. And the high-speed elevators then take you up to the floor. And this one is on the 21st floor. The suite number is 2101. And this is amazing. The current owners have lived here for several years, and over time they've completely updated it. You'll see brand new appliances. They have a 3-sided fireplace. Yeah. And so I'm going to play the tour a little bit for you. Yeah. Hang on one second. And the kitchen is beautiful. It just overlooks everything. And look at the dining room area. It's fantastic. So in addition to all of these still shots, then you'll find the details, right? So we have a downloadable floor plan as well that you can download and print. And as you can see, there's the layout. It shows you the size, and you can get the measurements in metric or in feet as well. That's what most of us remember. And so you can download this as well, right? So, and okay, yeah. And then we could go back to the 3D tour. There it is. Yeah. And here is the layout, but we'll just click this, and then we can just give you a little tour. As you can see, have a look at this, what you overlook when you're cooking every day. It's just so beautiful. Jasper Properties is a well-managed building. There we go. It's a well-managed building at 9020 Jasper Avenue. And it has such stunning curb appeal. It also have a beautiful, when you first arrive there, a beautiful courtyard that you drive into. It does have on-site visitor parking as well. This particular complex was one of the first to build townhomes that are on the ground level as well as the big, tall, looming building. So being on the 21st floor, and as you can see, the appliances have been recently upgraded as well. We have granite countertops, and the floors are gleaming floors and very neutral decor. And I can tell you with this much square footage, it's very easy to entertain. Yeah, for sure. And then we'll just switch over and maybe get you closer to, yeah, what a beautiful vantage point overlooking everything. There's the dining room. The dining area. Now this dining area has massive windows, right? So the view from the dining area of the river is phenomenal. Here it comes. You'll see this. Yeah. Have a look. You can see the river already. I can see it. Yeah, this is a current photograph. And soon see the river in the North Saskatchewan. The sunrise in the morning is just beautiful. Lots of windows, gorgeous window coverings. The current owners are so impressed with what it looks like in the still pictures in this 3D. I think they're having second thoughts about moving, or keeping it or selling it anyway. But it's beautiful. So, and then of course the bedrooms are beautifully done. It has a separate laundry area and storage room. There's ample storage in this condo. And this storage room, as you can see, there's lots of shelving and so it's a really interactive 3D tour. You can click it. Now we're in the master bedroom. But as you can see from every room, there's a lot of windows. Right? Anyway, so this quick possession is available on this particular gorgeous unit on the 21st floor. And it's a very safe and secure building. There's an on-site resident manager. There's also exercise room in the building as well, and lots of professional people. There's quite a wide variety of people that live in here in terms of age demographics. At one time, it was not unusual to see a lot of hockey players in here who I had subleased places to because it was close to where Rexall was, right? So the location is walking distance to downtown, easy to get around. And, just a beautiful, beautiful building at the end of Jasper. It just, it changes the skyline. And reasonably priced. If you look at the square footage, 1,700 square feet, 18 almost, with one underground parking stall, and the price is $599. It's still one of the best values in condominium living downtown Edmonton. And feel free to message me, call, and at your leisure, take this beautiful tour. Look at this bathroom. It's just gorgeous. And I want to thank you all for joining us today. And hang on, let me just stop this so we don't have to. You can continue that tour and looking at all the photographs. And my website has always been easy. So once you get onto sallymunro.com, click active listings, it's all there. So click, and you're in. No headaches, no hassles. And I'm always available, text, call, right? It's quicker to call or text, but I do respond to emails. Lately, emails are going into junk mail, but we figure it out in the end. So thank you again so much. And thank you for staying home, social distancing, and helping us flatten the curve and keeping all of us safe and sound. I know even for me, it's quite overwhelming this week by week by week, but according to the experts and our medical experts, it's working, right? And later this week and tomorrow, actually, our guest would be Michael Peterson. Michael's a movie producer. So I thought it would be interesting to see, and hear from him what's happening in his industry. And since all of us are affected, I'm imagining his has taken a massive, massive swing in the opposite direction. But with Michael's connections to Los Angeles and across North America, it'll be interesting to hear of some of the things that they're developing, because eventually we'll all be, caught up on everything on Netflix, Crave, the television, and we'll get tired of reruns. So we'll be looking for new content. So join us tomorrow when Michael will join us at 1 o'clock. And as well, and you'll be surprised with some of the shows Michael's worked on. Yeah, and it's kind of fun to meet Michael Peterson. And also joining us tomorrow afternoon at 1:30, we're going to hear from Rosalina Giordano, who is a lawyer here in Edmonton. She's practiced for 17 years, and she's going to give us an update on how real estate files are being closed, how they have made adjustments, because it's changing week to week, right? And do visit my website. We have brand new listings and we have existing listings. So so if you're thinking about a move, right, and you're worried about when to do this, remember, the right time is when you're ready. Because if you sell high, you buy high. Sell low, you buy low. So it's always about making a change. And as you heard from our experts today, financing is available. And thank you very, very much. And remember, together, everyone achieves more. And to quote Albert Einstein, in the middle of difficulty, it's always on my desk, lies opportunity. I'll see you tomorrow. Stay well, stay home, stay healthy. And here's a little quick tip on coping with staying at home, okay? Remember, make a plan, stretch, eat well, drink lots of water. Thank you for joining me today. Bye for now.